Hey Scorpios, welcome back. I'm here with your June monthly reading. Since it is a monthly reading and covers a a longer stretch of time than the weeklies and the dailies, I decided to pull pretty much one from all of my oracle decks. I did this for my monthly reading that I did, just kind of on a whim, and I felt like I felt like it worked well, so I didn't get to do it for Taurus, Aries, and Libra, but you were next, so I get to start it with you. Some reminders. This is a general reading. Take what messages resonate and leave the rest, because those are for someone else. All of my readings are for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So you might want to check out your other placements and look at those videos and see what messages are in those. Sorry, it's still a little early here, so I'm still waking up a little bit. But I do have on my channel, under my playlist, I have all my weeklies under one and all of my monthlies under another one, and then bonuses under another one. So it's organized pretty well, I think, if you want to check those out. Also, please subscribe. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That's the easiest way to be notified of your readings as they come out. I'm hoping to get to some new moon readings, because I really, really enjoyed the full moon readings that I did last month. Hopefully I'll be able to get to them. They are a little bit shorter, so we'll see. But I'm trying to get everybody's monthlies out. So far, you're the 4th. So I got 8 more to go after you. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it. The Lovers reversed. Okay. So we have discover your life purpose. Dragonling Garden, a new world is born. Eclipse Mermaid, a powerful energy shift. Be gentle with yourself. Destiny, acknowledge your mission, align with your purpose. You have gifts to share with the world. Gratitude, be grateful for abundance, live in appreciation for what you have, and more good things will come. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. And the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than to take. So how I have this organized, I guess I should probably kind of talk about that. So the first row is kind of my darker decks, my decks that talk about healing or dealing with the our dark selves, our shadow selves, just the harder things in life. Not bad, just, not stuff we're trying to work through. This middle row is kind of like positivity, uplifting, trying to, the light. Okay, so you can see this is kind of the light and this is kind of the dark. And then here I pull this and it's kind of like my advice cards, sort of. So overall though, with the Lovers in the reverse, this could be someone that you're either dealing with, maybe lost. Either way, they are a soulmate. If it's someone that you're dealing with, you might just be not interested in love right now, okay? But I feel like whatever this is, y'all aren't either connecting or, y'all aren't together. So just take that how that resonates. But I do feel like with the Lovers being here in the reverse, it's kind of, just, you're kind of not really trying to focus on that right now. Instead, I do see, and more than once, I see that you're discovering your life purpose, okay? Maybe you were with this person for a while, for a long time, and you're just kind of, and now that you're not with them, maybe you feel like your life purpose has changed, or maybe that you were never really on it and so now you're going after it. Maybe your dreams or goals have changed now and you're kind of realigning with that. I see that twice here. And then even with these cards here, they're kind of supporting that you're wanting to go in a different direction, okay? You have a new world is born and a powerful energy shift. And not only with this powerful energy shift here, it's a 10, and the 10, you know, 10s normally represent like something coming to an end, a cycle closing, you know, something new starting. And so a powerful energy shift is coming in because you're kind of discovering a new world for you. Like a new world has been born for you. So because you're going off on a different, a different path or journey, so to speak. During this time, remember to be gentle with yourself, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. If you find yourself having a down day or something, or having some setbacks, don't like kind of kick yourself. As with anything new, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. So just make sure that you're being gentle with yourself during this process. You know, again, this destiny, acknowledge your mission, align with your purpose. I feel like that's going back to this card. Well, really this whole row, okay? Because you are changing. Your world is changing around you. I feel like you're creating the change. You're, like I said, realigning with, you know, what you feel like your purpose is now. And while you're going through this, appreciate this time. Even the ups and downs, it's going to help you move forward in this new beginning, but also new can be scary, new can be cause a lot of anxiety and that type of thing, but there's also a lot of excitement and almost kind of, it can be magical if you let it, okay? So just make sure when you're going through this process that you're appreciating what's happening. You're giving gratitude for what you're going through. Even in the hard times, which is hard to do, because that's going to keep your vibration up and keep you moving, you know, relatively easily through this. All right, the deer spirit, bring a gentle touch. Again, there's going to be times this month that you're going to need to be gentle, all right? Either with yourself or with the situation around you, or even the people around you, all right? So just be gentle. Don't be, like, this isn't kind of, it definitely feels like a fire energy to me, but what I feel like is that's the energy, that's the momentum, but you yourself can actually be very gentle through this time. You don't have to like power through it and like, you know, have all this fire energy. You can just kind of go with the flow. And that's really what I'm feeling with here, the Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. You are being divinely guided, okay? Whatever you believe in that's bigger than you, the universe, spirit guides, guardian angels, God, whatever it is you believe in, whatever terminology you use, they are helping you. They have been guiding you to make this change, you know, to find a different path, all right? So you are being guided. You don't need to force this. You don't need to like power through it with all this. You can just kind of go with the flow and just kind of follow the signs, all right? Follow your gut, follow your intuition, you know? And the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than to take. So being gentle and maybe being gracious, being generous during this time is going to help you move forward. I feel like this is the very, very early stages of this, okay? So while things are kind of settling, or maybe you're figuring out exactly where it is you want to go, what it is you're wanting to do, that type of thing, you know, you can kind of, like I said, not rush through it, not be focused on it, not try to control it, not try to force things, so you can kind of be helpful to those around you. This would be a good time for you, because there is going to be a time where it's going to be work, 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 inspired action type of thing. And so you're not going to be as able to help and be generous with those around you. So now is a good time, while things are kind of settling and realigning, for you to kind of help those around you. All right, so let's get into your general reading. So overall, very spiritual month, I feel like, is ahead for you. And if you're wanting to know any of these cards, I have them listed, and I have all my decks that I use listed in the description. Okay. Oh yeah, I did want to pull, I forgot to pull this one. So I'll go ahead and pull this. This is the Law of Attraction, and it does kind of talk about money. I forget the actual name of it. It's like the Law of Attraction and finances or money. But you can apply this principle to anything in your life. Anything that you're trying to attract, anything you're trying to manifest, you can apply this. And I forgot to pull this because it has a good affirmation type of thing for you to remember. So, all right, Scorpio. The only thing is that they're really, really sticky. So it normally takes me a minute to actually get a card. My what is need not influence, my what is becoming. Okay, that's, some of these titles are a little confusing, but my what is need not influence my what is becoming. Okay, so I'll read this to you from the back. What is has no bearing on what is coming unless you are continually regurgitating the story of what is. By thinking and speaking more of how you really want your life to be, you allow what you are currently living to be the jumping off place for so much more. But if you speak predominantly of what is, then you still jump off, but you jump off into more of the same. So really what it's talking about is speak as if. Live kind of as if. That doesn't mean if you want to win the lottery, you go and blow all your money and, live as if you're a millionaire. That's not really what it's talking about. But the story you tell yourself, the words that you speak out loud, like if you go shopping and you want something, you're like, and you keep saying, I can't afford that. Well, that's kind of still saying, you don't have the money for it. So, and this can work with anything. It can be a relationship, it can be a job, whatever it is. Start speaking and thinking as if, okay, what is coming. Kind of speak in the present tense, though, if you're new to the Law of Attraction. So, could be, you just need to find ways to phrase things differently. So, back to the shopping example. I can't afford that. Well, that's kind of sending negative vibes out there, saying you don't have the money for it, so that's what you're kind of attracting, is still not having the money. So try saying, I can afford that, I just choose not to spend my money on that right now, or something like that. Just try and rephrase it. So rephrase the way you think about things, rephrase the way you speak about things, all right? Like I said, not just money, whatever it is you're wanting to attract, all right, Scorpio? All right, Scorpio. Scorpio. June 2019. What is Scorpio's focus, obstacle, advice and most likely outcome for the month of June 2019. Please and thank you. King of Wands, the Devil, Four of Cups, Queen of Wands, interesting. Five of Cups. For some of you, you may be dealing with a soulmate. Like I said, this is supposed to be general, but a lot of the times the love has come into it. You have the King of Wands here. You have the Queen of Wands that you're showing up in the same reading. Is that okay? It's just glary for me, not for you. You have the Five of Cups overall. So your overall energy for the month is you're still looking back on something. Like a loss. You're still focused on something in the past that's not really anymore, okay? You do have, so you're focusing on the 3 cups in front of you that are spilled, but you still have 2 cups over here and a rose that's growing behind you, all right? This side is more like, all right, I'm about to get up, move on, take my cups, start anew. But this one, you're still sad, okay? You're still feeling the loss. You're still kind of regretful of how things turned out. Could be very well a relationship. You know, the King of Wands is kind of facing another way. The Queen of Wands is over here. I definitely feel a separation here. All right, but it doesn't have to be. It could be work. It could be a work situation. I did just have to kind of, since you did have the Lovers in the reverse and then the King and the Queen of Wands showing up here, I just had to, I do feel like it is a relationship here, just with what's on the table right now, but we'll get into it. So the King of Wands over here in this deck, his back to us, he's a little worried, okay? He's a little worried that something he thought was finished, that was ended, like he had already wrapped up, is gonna come back. And doesn't mean he's worried about it. It could just be saying something you thought was done and over with does come back. But let's pull a clarifier for it. Why is the King of Wands here as Scorpio's focus? Why is the King of Wands here? Seven of Cups. So you may have had a lot of choices in the past and you're narrowing down your options, or you're just coming back to reality about a situation. So it could be that you're revisiting something that you thought was ended. Maybe all of the other options you thought you had weren't what you thought they were. Maybe the grass wasn't greener on the other side. Or maybe it was, okay? Maybe it was. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go back to whatever the situation is, but you are coming back down to reality. You are, you might not be willing to take action on it right now, but I feel like you are being realistic about what happened. And I just keep hearing being objective about it. Your obstacle, though, is the Devil. So if this was a relationship, it could have been, you know, a toxic relationship. All right. But also could be a Capricorn that you were dealing with. But let's pull a clarifier before I start talking on it, because I do feel a few different ways that it's going. King of Cups. So whatever this is, whether it's a job, a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is, it was toxic, okay? It was toxic as it was. But there's still emotions. You still have emotions about it. You are the King of Cups is here, and it is in the upright. So you are getting control of the emotions. But, you know, with the King of Wands here in this deck, you may be tempted to go back to it, especially with the snake. I'm reading a few different things with it, just with it talking to this Devil card. For some of you, you may be thinking with your emotions, kind of letting, you know, just kind of leading with your emotions when it comes to this. Whatever that means. In your advice, I do see the Four of Cups here, so I just feel like you're going to be tempted back, okay? You might want to remember your emotions, both good and bad, in this situation, okay? The King of Cups, I am kind of seeing it as your energy, so maybe you're the one being tempted back. Maybe you were the one who has some things you have to work through. Maybe not just, maybe you have some addictions or bad habits that you need to work through, okay? So whatever that is, take that how it resonates. I'm not saying that you are the bad person. I'm not saying anything like that. Just saying there are some things that you're going to be tempted by, and you're going to need to kind of be strong and kind of push away, all right? Because the Four of Cups here is your advice. I feel like you should leave the situation, okay? Let's see. Why is the Four of Cups here as the advice for Scorpio for June? All right, Four of Swords. So I really feel here that I'm really just kind of hearing get up and leave, okay? You need to stop kind of resting, okay? Stop kind of, not resting, stop being sad, stop, you know, trying to recover, because I feel like you have. Now it's time to take that step to leave this behind, okay? With this side of the Four of Cups, I hear that ship has sailed, okay? There's Four Cups on the, normally the Four of Cups is, you know, kind of talking about, you know, normally he's sitting on the beach and, you know, in this deck and being offered something, but in the vice versa deck, I don't read it that way. There's Four Cups being left on the beach, okay? The ship has sailed. You're leaving it behind, all right? So really I'm just hearing, wake up, get out of there, move forward, okay? Stop being stuck in this Four of Swords energy, because with this being your advice, I feel like you are kind of stuck in it. You're still kind of feeling down about something. You're still feeling like you need, you know, you've lost hope. And that's not true. You just need to get up and start moving. Stop being stuck is where I'm hearing with that. And we have the Queen of Wands here. So for those of you that this wasn't a relationship, all right, and this is just in general, we have the we start off, you know, the month with the King of Wands, maybe trying to tie up loose ends, but really this one's more worried about something coming back that he thought he had taken care of, all right? And then you go from this energy to the Queen of Wands, and I do love the Queen of Wands in this deck. I love this side of her. I love what she represents. I'm not sure if you've gotten her before. I kind of always go off on a tangent, but this is like being confident, okay? Finding your power within, knowing your power is within you, okay? Being calm, collected, cool, just being at peace with yourself, being comfortable in your own skin. You know, her eyes are closed, so I always feel like she's kind of meditating. She's at peace, which I always think is kind of interesting with the Queen of Wands, because, you know, the Wands is the fire and the energy, but she doesn't need to be up. She doesn't need to be, you know, doing something. She's getting her power from within. And that's what I feel like when I see that card here. It's like you go within, you find your power, okay? You're no longer feeling defeated, feeling, you know, this loss. You find some peace within yourself. Okay, that card really talks to me about going within. All right, finding your fire within, finding your own fire, finding your own motivation, finding your own peace. So let's pull a clarifier for that. All right, and then we have the Justice coming out. Could be a Libra you're dealing with, doesn't have to be. So you go within, all right, and it's like you find your truth is really what I'm feeling here, okay? You go within, you find your power, you find your motivation, you're comfortable with yourself. Maybe you do some long, hard thinking, honest thinking. Maybe you do get some clarity on maybe what went wrong in the situation so you don't move it forward. Or bring, you know, take it with you moving forward. Sorry about that. But you're, like I said, I just feel like you're thinking clearly. You can think honestly about it. You can be like, well, you know, I messed up. The situation had its own problems. It messed up. I'm not, you know, I may have made mistakes, but we're all human. Who knows what it is? But like I said, you do think clearly about it. You do think logically. Not logically, that's not really the word I'm looking for. But you're objectively, that's the word I'm looking. You can think back and look at it objectively. You can look at things moving forward objectively. Because you are comfortable in your own skin. I do feel like here you're willing to admit your mistakes so you don't, you know, from the past, so you don't move forward with them. Whatever it is, you know, your most likely outcome at the end of the month is, or by the end of the month, you know, what you're working towards through this month is just being at peace with yourself and being objective and being honest, okay? All right, so let's get into your love reading. Not sure if that was about love or not, but you do. I'm sure you know whether I'm sure you know what that was talking about. So let's pull some love oracle cards. This is the only deck I really have talking about love for oracle. I need to get some more. Alrighty. Scorpio love, June 2019. What's happening for Scorpio for love for June 2019? We got two cards. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. an unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Okay, so some of you, these are kind of separate messages. Some of you, it's a message. You know, some of you may be in a relationship or with someone that the passion's gone. It's just kind of unrequited, either on your end or on their end. Either way, if you're single or if you're in a relationship, not happy in a relationship, okay, you need to clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you now. For those of you that are not unhappy, but not really sure what's going to happen, that type of thing, or there's problems, you know, you need to really decide, do you want to stay? Do you want to try and work things throughout? Is there anything left to work out? The unrequited love, it could be your energy, their energy. Either way, someone's in it more than the other person, type of thing. Could have been the Lovers in the reverse. You know, maybe maybe the spark's just not there anymore. All right. All righty. Let's pull some love cards, see what's happening. Some of you, you know, those are separate messages. You know, one is, you know, very soon decide what you want so you can manifest it. And, you know, the other ones are like, you know, you might be chasing someone who isn't really that into you. So you should find someone who is into you and stop trying to force that. Or it could just be, you know, the spark is kind of fizzled out in your relationship. But it's not saying that there's, for those of you that are in a relationship, it's not saying that there's definitely an ending coming here, okay? Especially when this is if this is really kind of the only card that's speaking to you. There's a choice to make here. There's a decision to make here, all right? Scorpio, June 2019, and love. What is Scorpio's recent past, current energy, and the month ahead? Energy for the month ahead. Please and thank you. Okay, recent past. The Death in the reverse. Could be another Scorpio, could be you. Page of Wands, King of Swords. Could be that you are all out of your element, okay? Page of Wands and the King of Swords. So, could be that this relationship kind of puts you out of your element. Could be a fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that you were dealing with. But for the most part, I kind of feel like maybe y'all just weren't on the same page. Maybe one of you was a little bit more immature or youthful. I'm not getting immature in a bad way. It's just there's a page and then there's a king, okay? So one's more kind of younger, youthful, more playful, you know, kind of makes more mistakes, especially with it being fire energy, you know, creative, that type of thing. And then, you know, the other person could have been older, either literally older than the other person, but they could have been more logical, more intentional, that type of thing. So it could have been just as simple as that, okay? It's just like y'all are just two different people, but it really had you out of your element. Let's pull the current energy because sometimes that helps me see what really happened. All right, I'm going to say it just because it came out doesn't mean that it was. Could have been a third-party situation. Not really feeling that. Just some of you, it probably was. Either way, you just can't leave the situation. However, some of you can't leave the situation, all right? Others of you, you know, maybe there was a separation and you're no longer feeling abandoned. King of Wands coming here again in the reverse. Someone could have been controlling, over-controlling. But I'm really kind of going back to your general reading. Somebody's thinking about this. Okay. Somebody's thinking about this connection. Somebody's thinking about, I feel like it was ended. I do, especially with the death in the reverse, it might not be you out of your element. It might be that it hasn't ended. All right. And I feel like it still hasn't ended. In fact, for some of you, I feel like there may be a kind of coming back together, maybe talking. Maybe you guys are talking. Maybe you guys are trying to be friends right now. It's not a soulmate type of card that I'm getting here. So it might be kind of platonic. Maybe you are just kind of opening up some lines of communication. Not a lot, but... because just with this King of Wands being here and the King of Wands being in your general, the Death being here, Five of Pentacles, not really feeling abandoned, but I'm seeing it as you can't, somebody can't let it go. Could be both of you, okay? Could be both of you. Let's see what the month ahead is coming. Okay, there we go. 7. We got the Star in the reverse, the Tower, the 7 of Wands. It does come to an end. Sorry. Like I said, mornings are horrible for me during allergy season. There's no hope. All right. I feel like there's some kind of back and forth energy here right now. Not really able to move forward, not really able to leave it. Maybe we should talk a little bit, just as friends, open some communication. I feel like it doesn't go anywhere. It may be they moved on already. Could be you moved on already. Not really sure who's really talking about it. But with the unrequited love, I feel like it's like maybe both of you are thinking about it. Maybe both of you kind of like try and talk and see if anything's there. But at least for this month, I feel like the Star in the reverse, there's no hope. There's no revert. There's no... It's like nothing's changed. There's no hope for things to be different. So you kind of lose hope, or they lose hope in the situation. Could be an Aquarius you're dealing with. And the Tower falls, okay? It ends, all right? Change comes. 7 of Wands in the reverse. No longer fighting for it. No longer... That's really what I'm feeling here. Just no longer fighting for it. No longer being defensive for some of you. No longer defending, but no longer really willing to fight for this, okay? And this is just for the month. So, you let the Tower fall because you're not willing to fight for it anymore, or they do. There's no faith. There's no hope in this situation. And I do feel like, you started off with it's still not ending. It's still not dying. That it's still not being over type of thing. But you end with the Tower actually does fall. So let's pull some advice for you for this month. And really what I'm feeling just with all of your cards in general, it kind of needs to happen so you can kind of follow your path, because if you go back to your oracle cards, your whole top row and some of the other supporting ones were talking about you moving in a new direction, okay? And I just kind of feel like you have to let go of this so you can move in that direction. That doesn't mean that you won't ever go back. That just means if if it's meant to be, you'll cross paths again or something. All right, Scorpio, what advice do you have for Scorpio for June 2019? The Empress. So this is, creation, create a new cycle, transforming all the butterflies. Let's see what else we got with it. The World. Create a new beginning, create a new cycle, create a new chapter. All right, let this past stuff end. The Moon, look at all of this. Yeah, Scorpio, this is a really major time for you. This month ahead is pretty major for you, okay? Look at all these major arcanas coming out. This is definitely a bigger picture type of thing. You have the Moon here. And the Two of Cups in the reverse, yeah. The Moon is talking about there may be still some things you don't know about the situation. Maybe some secrets. Maybe you don't know everything there is to know about it. But really, when I see the Moon, it's more of just, trusting your intuition through changes, because changes you don't normally see everything. So really, I just feel with everything else you have here, trust your intuition through these changes, all right, through this new chapter. Don't come together with this person or a relationship with Two of Cups reversed. And Eight of Wands, I feel like you need to go after your dreams, go after your wishes, all right? It's like she's blowing one of those, those flowers that you blow and you make a wish. I think they're dandelions. They might not be. But you know what I'm talking about anyways. So make a wish. She's not just blowing one. She's blowing like 8 of them. No, there's only 6 there, but there's some other ones. So follow your dreams. Follow your wish. Make a wish and go after what you want, all right? I think it's interesting so far that the Two of Cups is the only one that's coming out in the reverse. All right, Scorpio. Let's pull one more card. All right, Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. This is... I know that love reading kind of sucked. All right, I know it did. I get it. But this advice is amazing. All right, you have really like 2 things here talking, well, really 3 things here talking about starting something new, starting a new chapter. Closing out this past cycle. You had the Devil in this past cycle, okay? So there was some toxic behavior. All right? Trusting your intuition. Don't come together with this person right now. Don't come together with anybody right now, okay? Follow your dreams. Follow your wishes. What is it that you want to go after? What is it that you want to achieve, okay? And go after it. This is about you, Scorpio, finding yourself. All right, I feel like you did have a lot of fire energy in this reading. So you could be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You might have a lot of fire in your chart, whatever it is. But I feel like this is you going after what you want. Leave the conflict behind, okay? Don't participate in that anymore. Don't fight anymore. It's not worth your time. It's not going anywhere. Just avoid the conflict, all right? And go after your dreams. Go after what it is you want, all right? Trust your intuition during this time. You do have new things happening. You just have to really be able to let go of the past. And I am going to say this because for some of you, you need this. Okay, even if you're wanting to cling on to this past, this past relationship or whatever, job, whatever it is, just because the tower falls, just because the cycle ends, just because you go chase what you want for a while, doesn't mean that this person is going to be gone forever, okay? If you're hoping for a reconciliation type of thing, that's fine. But that's not going to happen if this tower doesn't fall, if this cycle doesn't completely end, all right? And you don't go do this work on yourself, for yourself, all right? Because it's already been proven that you two, as you are, don't work, all right? So when the tower falls, I never see, even when it comes in the reverse or trying to rebuild it, I never really see it like that. And when I say something new, attract something new, bring something new in, that doesn't mean it can't be with a past person. It's just that it's completely new, so you're not bringing any of that baggage in. So for those of you that are like really bummed out and really wanting a reconciliation type of thing, don't move forward thinking that, all right? You need to really be able to let it go and focus on you and your dreams, because that's really what I'm feeling here. You need to go chase your dreams, your wishes, your wants, your goals, okay? It's all about Scorpio for this month, all right? And that's what it needs to be, all right? Scorpio, you need to kind of make it all about you. All right, Scorpio, a bit of a rough reading, but I promise this is, like you had the 10, I was drawn to it. This is, things are changing, all right? And it's showing. So this month, especially by the end of the month, I really do feel like you're going to be feeling a whole lot better about things, about yourself, and about what's going on. All right, Scorpio, I will see you next week, or hopefully this weekend, for your bonus.